invite you to take a look at the chapel, and understand the history. The building itself really isn't all that spectacular, but every time I walk in through that door, I fully expect to see the walls just bulging out with 152 years of history being contained in there.
On Friday, December the 4th, 1857, James Garfield recorded this in his diary: "Classes as usual." At the close of afternoon classes, Brother Matthews had a team ready to take me to Newbury to hold a meeting for a few evenings. I found the community in a fever of excitement. The Congregationalists had shut us out from their house and schoolroom, and I found an audience of over 100 awaiting me in a dancing hall in the place.
The women's dress reform movement formed here at the chapel in 1870. By January of 1874, just 3 years later, it had morphed into a full-blown women's suffrage organization, the Newbury Women's Political Suffrage Club, with 11 founding members, 1 man, and 1 honorary woman, the female rock star of the women's suffrage movement, Susan B. Anthony.
And here's what is reported in the Pioneer and General History of Geauga County. In 1870, these women were urged, quote, to all women have the courage to lay aside the symbols of servility and don the proper American custom of trousers and frocks. And as I look around here and see the way you ladies are dressed now, I guess the reform did work.
So what makes the little suffrage club here in South Newbury unique? It was not the first. Other clubs in the state had formed a few years prior in cities like Cincinnati, Toledo, Dayton, Akron, Cleveland. It appears to be the first place in the state of Ohio where women attempted to vote.
And in 1890, Harriet committed herself completely to the suffrage movement. For the next 30 years, she was dedicated to the passage of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. She worked closely with her mentor, Susan B. Anthony, and the other early suffragists, although she was from the next generation. Susan B. Anthony was more like a mother to her. In fact, they called Susan B. Anthony Mother Susan.
But I have a very personal reason for an interest in this chapel and in this marker. My mom is a retired elected office holder where I grew up in Putnam County, Ohio. And so I like to think that the work that these women did here and suffragettes did all over the United States made it possible for her to become an elected official in a tiny county in Northwest Ohio.